броня крепка, и танки наши быстрые, и наши люди мужества полны. В строю стоят советские танкисты, своей великой родине сыны. Гремя огнем, сверкая блеском стали, пойдут машины в яростный поход. Когда нас в бой пошлет товарищ Сталин, и первый маршал в бой нас поведет. Заводов труд и труд колхозных пашен мы защитим страну свою храня. Ударной силой орудийных башен и быстротой, и натиском огня. Гремя огнем, сверкая блеском стали, пойдут машины в яростный поход. Когда нас в бой пошлет товарищ Сталин, и первый маршал в бой нас поведет. Пусть помнит враг, укрывшийся в засаде, мы на чеку, мы за врагом следим. Чужой земли мы не хотим ни пяди, но и в своей вершка не отдадим. Гремя огнем, сверкая блеском стали, пойдут машины в яростный поход. Когда нас в бой пошлет товарищ Сталин, и первый маршал в бой нас поведет. А если к нам полезет враг матерый, он будет бит повсюду и везде. Тогда нажмут водители-стартеры, и по лесам, по сопкам, по воде. Гремя огнем, сверкая блеском стали, пойдут машины в яростный поход. Когда нас в бой пошлет товарищ Сталин, и первый маршал в бой нас поведет. Когда нас в бой пошлет товарищ Сталин, и первый маршал в бой нас поведет.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. You may not... give me 1 second as I turn down the music and not deafen myself with it. Good God. Why do I always do this? But we didn't stream yesterday because I was too busy being a productive human being in society, which is to say I did nothing and simply read some manga. Tried to watch a movie, tried to watch T-34 for free, but my brilliant plan to watch T-34 was thwarted by the fact that Amazon Prime only has the English dub for it, and I don't feel like giving Jeff Bezos my money yet. So that was fun. Thanks, Jeff Bezos, for only giving us the really poorly dubbed English version, not the actual, Russian version of the movie set in Russia by a Russian production company. That's cool. That's awesome. I love it. 0 out of 10. Would not Bezos again. But, other than that, I was attempting to just get a little bit relaxed and get myself ready for this next phase. As we know, as you can probably get the hint a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Excuse me. But if we scroll all the way down here to our things we need to do, we're going to be working on tank design today. Now, what does tank design actually mean? Obviously, in a game about tanks, this may come as a shock to you, you're going to need to know how your tank works. I know, big think time. So this entire section is going to be how to build a tank, and generally how tanks work, and not actually like how tanks work in like a real sense, but more in a how do tanks work in game, and what's the purpose of them, because they're just as much as part of your characters as the characters themselves inside of them. Your tank is your life. It's your it's the only thing keeping you alive sometimes. So knowing how it works is kind of essential. But it also feeds into the combat section, because combat is very reliant on what kind of tanks you're driving, as well as kind of what parts are on your tank. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, and what kind of your armor's looking like and things like that. So we're going to be working on tank designing today. Now, as you can see by my handy-dandy notes here on my notepad, I have totally started this. You can definitely tell by the fact that I just have the words tank design on it. Put that right in the corner there. But if we zoom in a little ways here, roughly speaking, you can say that there's about 3 main kinds of tanks. You have your light tanks, your mediums, your heavies. And technically, your super heavies, they kind of are their own thing, yet not their own thing. It's very confusing. Now, you also have a lot of different variations of such, which, depending on how you want to interpret that, that has its own issues and problems. But I digress. One of the key things of tanks in general is you can... Hello person going to the hospital. Hello. We'll let that pass real fast. Okay. What this section is going to be is kind of like a general purpose for how to design a tank. What this section is not going to be is me statting out every single kind of fucking tank in the world. That's not the purpose of this. If you want to make a Panzer IV, you build it using this system. If you want to play a Centurion, build it using this system. But don't think like I'm going to stat out what a full Panzer IV is going to look like, of stat out a Bob sample. There are hundreds of tank designs out there. Actually, here, let's do the most comprehensive. Yeah, 200 tanks. And this is just currently in World of Tanks. Let's do there's probably let's see, over 1,000 vehicles. These aren't even all tanks. It's you're dealing with so many different kinds of tanks. You kind of see all the way here. Like, I'm not going to stout out individual ones. That's going to take way too long, because all of them are slightly different, but also slightly the same in some ways, because there's not many ways to actually design a tank. Fun fact, tanks aren't actually that complex. They're very complex internally, but they're actually, the concept behind them, not terribly complex. It's just the, doing it part. I was drinking myself some inspiration juice for the long journey ahead. So, roughly speaking, we're roughly going to have 3 kinds of tanks. We're going to have our light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, and super heavies. More actually, I should say we are going to have 8 types of tanks, because these are going to have, we can put rotating turrets, RT, and RT. And then we're going to have light, medium, heavy, super heavy, stationary turrets, STs. Actually, no, that's a dumb idea. I can just make that its own thing. So yeah, we're gonna have about 4 different kinds of tanks. These are our basic chassis. So a tank is going to be composed of a few parts. Our first one's going to be the chassis. And these are your light, medium, heavy, and super heavies. What the chassis does, chassis is kind of your basic armor as well as size. Super heavy tanks can take more people in them than a light tank. A light tank may only have a crew of about 3, 4, while a super heavy tank may have a crew of 8, 9. Because again, they're super massive fucking tanks. You kind of see bigger and better armored. Excuse me. Yeah, they are massive goddamn weapons of war and ready to blow anything up. They're a lot slower. So pretty much the chassis is the basic armor, as well as the size, speed, and room to add and improve modules. So effectively, when you're designing a tank, let's design just a light tank. That's our goal right now. I'm going to design a light tank. Let's try to get the famous light tank. Let's do a Type 95 Hago. That's our goal. We're going to do a Type 95 Hago. Crew 3, as expected. Here's our basic setup. Kind of see, Hago is kind of fucking everywhere. So, let's keep going. That's what we're going to try to design right here. So, after your chassis, you're going to have to add your modules. The modules are going to be your engine, transmission, cannon breech, fuel tanks, tracks, ammo racks, and then your main gun. These are going to be your basic ones. Okay, so let's get writing, shall we? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to Control-C, paste these in another notepad document you guys cannot see, so I can start writing. So, tank design. Your new casket. Interlocking. Create an armored machine of rolling thunder. However, for purposes and streamlining the experience, designing a tank takes only a few steps. Step 1, choosing the chassis. The chassis of the tank is its base form, and I can't think of words right now. Oh, goodness. Sorry if I'm kind of out of it today. It has been very hot in my neighborhood. I've been trying to get comfy all day and it's not working. Actually, the tank is its base design as well as weight. A heavier chassis. Heavier chassis moves slower, but is able to take more of a punch. Contrasting a light tank, which trades armor and firepower for mobility. When designing a tank, its chassis, why do I keep putting it as? Its chassis will determine the vast majority of its functions and abilities on the battlefield. Light tank. How do I want to do this? See, now I get to decide how I actually want to... Like, I have the idea of what tanks are supposed to look like. I just gotta make sure. So what are things you have to worry about with tanks? So, obviously, hull. Armor. It's kind of obvious. Hull is kind of going to be your default head. You're going to be your hull is going to be your base health. Armor is armor. Mobility is max speed. Size. Number of additional modules. No. Base health of each part. No. How do I want to word this? Because if every single section is effectively attackable, so if I want to hit your treads are going to have... If I want to take your treads out... Actually... Actually, you know what may work? Silhouette Genesis. Tell me your secrets. Okay, so give me what I want for silhouette. Okay, let's see. Okay, 3 talents. No, Genesis quick sheet. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Rock silhouettes. Oh god, that's not helpful at all. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make my own. So effectively what I'm trying to do here is pretty much this is your how big your tank is. Pretty much small. Obviously light tanks are going to be smaller, thus harder to hit. So because if a giant tank is going to be a giant tank, that's going to like it's not going to be complex to hit a giant it's the broadside of a barn question. You know, like can you hit a giant tank moving toward you? Yes, you can hit the giant tank moving towards you, but it's not going to be doing that much because you are a pathetic little tank man who isn't very terrifying. But actually, what I can do. Rename it hardpoints, number of additional modules, and silhouette, size of vehicle. As reference. Size of vehicle. Larger vehicles are easier to hit. So let's say a silhouette, a light tank starts with 0, medium tank is 2, heavy tank's 4, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Because you don't get really any bonus hitting a light tank because it's that small, but a larger tank, it's going to be a lot easier to hit because it's just bigger. It's like 2 tiny tanks stapled together, like 2, 3 tiny tanks stapled together. It's a horrifying abomination of steel and sadness that wants to kill you and all your friends. Yeah. So, light. Overbuilt. And fast action. Light tank is the epitome of a fragile speedster. Able to move lightning quick. Light tank has... Oh gosh. A light tank is the smallest of the tank varieties, but it also lacks the ability to have a large sum of crew. So it's going to have silhouette 0. Its base armor is going to be 0. Its mobility is going to be 6. It's going to have hard points going to have 3 hard points. It's going to have only 2 hard points. And then we're going to put the crew in, and the crew is going to be 2 to 4. No, 2 to 3. Then we have medium tanks. Medium tank. The all-rounder medium tanks are designed to be frontline as well as support tanks, support for infantry with the armor and weapons to compensate its lack of speed. Medium tank has more crew, more armor, more gun, and heavier guns. It's like a speed, and we're going to give it a silhouette. 2, armor 2, mobility 5, hard points 4, and crew 3 to 5. Heavy tank, bulky and impressive. Heavy tanks are mobile iron platforms designed to crack enemy defenses. Should I put weight in? No. Yeah, I can use silhouette. I can use silhouette as the method of that. Also, I think I just killed word wrap because I'm a monster. Crack enemy defenses and break tank formations. Rival tank formations. Moving the speed of molasses. This has its downsides as the vehicle is forced to rely on its large crew to protect it from assault. Silhouette 4, armor 3, mobility 4, hard points 6, and crew 4 to 6. And then we have the super heavy tank. Massive and imposing. The super heavy tank is the logical conclusion of heavy tank design. Less a vehicle and more a weapons platform. Moving slow and being a massive target has its advantages, but overall its armor is almost impenetrable. And silhouette 6, armor 4, mobility 3, hard point 7, actually hard points 8, and crew 5 to 8. Now, if I really wanted to be specific, what I could do is I can Reduce armor by 1 across the board. Because that's kind of your default armor overall. And then bump up hard points by 2. Let's see. Where are you? There, division designer. Wait a second, that's not what I'm looking for. Experience. Variants, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Tank, speed, and reliability. Armor, engine, reliability. Tank gun. Okay. Idea behind a tank is 4 aspects of its the core idea behind a tank is summarized with its attributes. Silhouette. Silhouette represents the size, ability to strike the tank, as well as its weight in certain combat conditions. Armor represents the tank's ability to shrug off damage, damage, as well as reduce the effects of strikes. Mobility is the maximum speed a tank can move. Hard points represents the number of additional modules that can be added. Modules and improvements that can be added to the tank before it is overburdened. Okay. So let's pose to you your new casket. I know, a very uplifting. We also got some new pictures. And we'll make this 2. I completely misspelled these because I am dumb and I don't know how to spell, because English is hard, very hard. Actually, I can actually make this 4. Like tanks. I misspelled silhouette every single time. Control Shift 8. Control Shift 8. Super heavy tank. Compensate for its lack of speed. Four, 5. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Oh gosh. I didn't see you. So, okay. Nope. And we go there. Perfect. And now we go to step 2. Assigning hardpoints and equipment. A tank without its components, it is a little more than a metal husk. It's a little more than a metal husk. Designing tank. Assigning what its various hardpoints points have is essential for creating a unique and deadly machine of war. Actually, I'm going to turn on the light because it's suddenly very dark in here. You know what? Mouse is going that way. Wait a second. Oof. Oh, there we are. Had to grab my second bit of inspiration juice. I'm not going to drink it right now. I'm going to finish my water bottle. Alright. So, step 2, unique and deadly machine of war. Tank begins with... Put up my second notepad. Begin with a handful of basic modules, representing the bare minimum that the tank requires to operate. Basic modules. And it is designed for the chassis, allowing the hulking behemoth to move without dying. Your engine be destroyed. Having your engine destroyed or damaged will cause you to stop. Will cause the tank to stop in its tracks. Tracks going nowhere. Transmission. The tank is what allows the driver to operate the tank in addition to making sure that the vehicle responds to his inputs. Having the transmission destroyed or damaged will cause the tank to stop and expose the crew. Yeah, having your engine or transmission go out, very bad. Very bad, in fact. It is almost deadly, in fact, if you get your engine or transmission knocked out, because you aren't going anywhere. And, actually, I'm going to skim fuel tanks. Without fuel, we'll be going nowhere fast. So the ability to carry fuel into conflict is essential for the tank to continue maneuvering. If the fuel tanks are ever destroyed or damaged, the tank will be running on empty soon, or explode. Yeah, don't get your fuel tanks destroyed either. You might just explode and die, and that because everyone is superheated and burnt to death. Tracks. To navigate over difficult terrain. Tanks are often outfitted with tracks to maneuver and crush opponents underfoot. If tracks are taken out, the tank is unable to move properly unless they are repaired. This requires to operate. So these are your basic modules. Nothing. This is just like making sure the tank goes backward and forward. Nothing more, nothing less. Every tank begins. These modules allow the tank to move and operate freely without any of these essential parts. The tank is going nowhere quickly. Next is the advanced modules. These modules separate tanks at fundamental level. These modules separate tanks at fundamental level, allowing fundamental level. So light cannon, medium cannon, heavy cannon, ammo rack light. Actually, I should put ammo rack. Yeah, it's just a basic ammo rack. Light machine guns. Heavy machine guns. What's some other? Yeah. Radio station. Let's see, what am I looking for here? Yeah, no, that's it. Actually, can't. No, light cannon, medium cannon, heavy cannon. Cannon is percent of the most basic of armor killing weapons, able to be loaded quickly and shot for minimal damage, and shot quickly. They don't pack a massive punch, but they're cheap and easy. 1 hard point. A medium cannon is a heavier set, damaging variety of cannon. Able to crack armor, destroy fortifications, and dispatch infantry with ease. 2 hard points. Hard points. Heavy cannon. A heavy cannon is a massive weapon of war designed to kill anything it touches. It is, however, incredibly bulky and slow to reload. 3 hard points. So, if we look back at our tanks here, and we realize for a light tank, you can technically slap a heavy cannon on a light tank and be perfectly fine. You won't have anything else to work with, but you can. The cannon requires ammunition. Without an ammo rack, tank will have the bare minimum amount of ammunitions laying around. Will have only a few shells available to them at any time, at any point. With the rack, they risk detonation, but also have access to more ammo. Hard point. 3-1 hard point. A simple machine gun fitted to one of the sides of the tank. Gun can easily deal with most infantry, but has trouble with entrenched foes. 1 hard point. Heavier machine gun fitted to one of the sides of the tank. Gun can mow down infantry with ease and pin anyone else in place. 2 hard points. radio station. A radio set has been outfitted inside the tank with the commander, in addition to the crew. Can communicate with the outside world from inside the safety of their tank. One hard point. All right. Each of these modules require at least one of the tank's hard points to be taken up to use them, to have them outfitted inside of the tank. Now I'm going to post this in there. No, it'll be heading 3. It's various 4. Behemoth. It's probably incredibly simple to design tanks, but again, we're not looking to create something one for one. We're looking to make it so it actually works for a game, because again, this is for a game. Fun fact. I know this may seem like some kind of ultra big think time, but making games is supposed to be designed for games. I know, massive. Let's see. What are we working on? Okay. Advanced modules. And we're gonna make you 4 as well. So what I can do is do that. Also, does this technically mean you can have multiple cannons on your tank? Yes, it does technically mean you can have multiple cannons. It's not very efficient to do that because you're going to need separate gunners for each of them, but you definitely can. You have separate gunners as well as loaders. Actually, I should say long distance radio station. Radio station has been installed inside of the tank. It allows the crew to communicate with other commanders, as well as their commander if they are in range. 1 hard point. And next we go into the final stage, which we're going to call improvements. Finally, improvements helps the tank further its own abilities, skill set, its own abilities with its specific modules. Each module may be improved for a single hard point. Each module may be improved for a single hard point up to a maximum of 5 times. Modules such as cannons can be improved in a multitude of ways, including increased range, increased damage, or increased range or damage to them. Ding, ding, ding. Hello, who are you? Remind me later, please. No, go away. There we go. So, what we're going to have to do actually is we're going to make a chart. From the many untitled spreadsheets. Let's see. Base. Improvement 1, improvement 2, 3, 4, 5. So, engine, fuel tanks, tracks, transmission, ammo rack, actually I'm not going to worry about that. Light machine gun, heavy machine gun, short distance radio, long distance radio. The cannons are going to get their own one. Same idea, but since we have so many different variations, because it's going to be light cannon range, light cannon, actually we want to light damage, light range, light medium damage, medium range, damage, heavy ranged. There you go. So 0, let's say 3 tracks, 0 transmission, 0 ammo rack, 1 light machine gun, 1, 2 short distance radio, 0 and long distance radio, 0. So improvement 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuel tanks 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Transmission 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ammo rack. Let's say 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 shots. Actually, shells in a tank. How much ammo does a tank carry? About 40 to 50 rounds. So we're looking at about 40, 50, 60. Actually, that's way too much. If we're dealing with that, we don't really have to. No, if we have the ammo rack, that means just having the ammo rack means that you have all this, and if you improve your ammo rack, you get a bonus. You're getting a bonus to your loader, being able to load up the ammo, and not, you know, flail miserably and die and kill you all. Like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. 5, so that would be 4, 6, actually 6, 8, 10, 12, actually 1, 2, 3. Short distance radio, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Yeah, I'm effectively going to have to insert every single one of these lists, like 1 + 1 mobility, or 2 mobility, 3, 4, and that's just going to take time. So now we get to do light damage. So how do we want to do this? God, I didn't think this through very well, did I? Well, you know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to post all of this in. May say, but Notepad add-on, that's not even close to being done yet. I think this may be one of those situations where we have to knock out... Let me just post this. Delete 2 rows. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Might have to knock out how combat looks, and then we'll be able to knock out how the numbers here, because I have the idea of how combat's supposed to look, and I'm just going to have to play with it a little bit, I think. properties 1.1. Yep, okay. Column width 1.1. And then base, we can just shrink that all the way down. I said we could shrink it all the way down and not have to worry about it. What do I know? Oh my god, tables, why? Sometimes the tables like to fight me, and I don't know why, and I hate it. Column width. Let's just do 1 for right now. We'll shrink you down. Can I just do 1.1? Yeah, okay. Table properties 1.1. We want to select you. We want to select our table. I should probably bump that up to 12. Nah, 10's fine. Okay. Now comes the fun part. 0. So this one. Can do is I can extend this out, and then mobility, days of fuel, handling bonus, driving bonus, loading bonus, damage to infantry, damage to infantry, radio up bonus, radio up bonus. There we go. So if we go back to our wonderful little tank we have here, the Type 95 Hagol, let's see. What gun did you have? A 37 millimeter. Oh, that reminds me. We should actually add something I forgot. We want to insert column below. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front armor, back armor, left armor, right armor, right side armor, left side armor. Actually, what I can do, screw it. Delete row. Side armor. 0, 0, 0. Extra armor. Extra armor. Extra armor. And 1, 1, 1, 2. Actually, what I can do if I really want to is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Front armor 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And side armor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then actually start with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each of these take a hard point. So let's say, again, our theoretical Hoggo tank didn't really have that big of a cannon on it. Click every single wrong button I can. Oh god, there's so many buttons to press and they're all wrong. Oh no. Okay, Hoggo tank, please. Hoggo tank. So we have our Type 95 Hoggo light tank. And we have our basic modules. We have our engine, our transmission, our fuel tanks, and our tracks. And if we go all the way up top, we get to see our basic attributes are this. Armor 0. So what it should be is technically front armor 0, side armor 0, back armor 0. Pretty much it is a walking, it is a drivable car. It is a car at this point with tracks. Very fast, lots of 4 hard points to work with, and we have a 3-man crew. Our engine is 0, our transmission is 0, our fuel tank is 1, and our tracks is 0. But we're going to be adding our hard points to it. So, obviously, we're going to have our ammo rack, our light cannon, a light machine gun. So one. These are all our modules. That reduces our hard points just to 1, and we're going to bump our engine up by 1. So here's our most basic light tank available to us. We're not really designed to fight tanks, but we move fast because since we improved our engine, we improved our mobility by 1. We can technically move fairly fast. We have 3-man crew, and we have fuck all for armor, which is a terrible idea. But that's actually fairly accurate, because if we have fuck all for armor, light infantry attacks don't really do anything. Light firearms aren't what these things like. You're not taking any damage from getting shot with a fucking rifle with these things. You're still in a tank, for God's sakes. However, if you get shot with like an actual, tank, there's a good chance you're going to explode. Because you have literally nothing protecting you. Let's see, actually. Oh, technically I also have to worry about the cannon breach, but we can actually remove the cannon breach and just have the fact of, since you have the main gun, so these would be all the things that you can get targeted on your tank. Yeah. This isn't a flawless system, but it's the best we have so far, because vehicle design in any game is kind of a pain in the goddamn ass. So we're fast, we don't really have any armor, but we have our really basic, we're pretty much anti-infantry at this point. Should I give more hard points? I'm going to add 2 more hard points to everything. I think it's only fair. Give more toys to play with. Since we have 2 more hard points available, bump our engine up by 1 and our front armor up by 1. So we can take a little damage from the front, but we can't really take any damage in our sides or our back. But we're super fast, because our fastest we can move is 8. And we can move, and we pretty much have like a day's worth of fuel. So we constantly kind of need to be in. Let's see. What are we looking No, we have our... See, this is one of the issues with tanks. Technically, if we wanted to make sure that we had every single kind of tank available, we'd have to stat out every single one of these, which is not fun in the slightest. And please, don't make me do that. I don't want to die. But hopefully with this system, the intent of the system is to allow you to make these variants indirectly by, creating a base. Like you type, again, we have our base right here. If you want to say make the amphibious variety, you'd be able to. Like that wouldn't be very much a problem. You can just slap in like a amphibious module or something similar to that. And that'd be kind of up to the game master of how they would want to do that. Technically, I could put in the side rule about going over your hardpoint limits, having negative hardpoints. Let's see. Light tanks. Yeah, so this is an anti-infantry tank at the end of the day. This is a Matilda infant, yeah, the Matilda. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think that works. Not flawless, but I think the core idea works. And we are also going to have to add to our handy-dandy gun section because we don't technically have the correct way of doing this yet. It's one of those things, like, I have the idea for how combat's supposed to look. It's there, but I don't have the concepts are there, the ideas are there, the execution I don't know is. And I wish I could say everything is going to work out just diddly fine and everything's going to be perfect and great and wonderful and everyone's going to love me and call me a cool dude. But I can't guarantee that. So, let's see, table properties, 0.5, black. Okay. So I'm going to leave this section. These aren't going to be doing anything as of right now, but the basic idea of tank design is done. The concepts are there. I think the worst part is I might have to assign, like, bonus. Yeah, okay, the main gun, then you can shoot any of you can try to aim for any of that, and then, yeah, okay, that works. So, our basic concepts are done. They work. We can design a tank if we want. Any kind of tank we want, we can definitely make. Why we can make these tanks? Because we can. It's one of those things, like, I wish I could. What am I looking for? Riddle me this, chat members. what am I looking for in this? Because my basic idea for tank combat, how it's supposed to go, is you line up your shot, you take the shot. If you hit, they have to deal with the damage going forward. So you hit them in the side, you do X damage based on what your gun is, for example, minus their armor. Just have hull. Hull doesn't seem quite right. It's one of the issues with tanks, how easy it is. Like, if you get a solid hit on anyone, and you could easily just pop and just explode and die. And that's one of the core issues going forward. Okay. You know what? We've been streaming for about an hour and a half now. Not exactly the most pulse-pounding of streams, but pulse-pounding streams are fun and exciting and all, but this is a chill stream for chill people who do chill things for chill reasons. We are, as I say, chillaxing on the stream. And I'm not really talking to anyone in particular, and just other than myself. And as I've said before, I'm not exactly a fascinating person to listen to for too long. So what's next time? Well, next time we're going to start on the combat section proper. Combat section's really going to inform how everything goes, and I'm going to do a little bit of research. So if we don't stream tomorrow, we'll stream definitely the day after that, as tomorrow I will be doing research. I'll probably be doing a lot of research tonight, but tomorrow definitely. Or at least leading up to it, because I have the idea of how I want to do this. Just that base idea of a line cannon, shoot cannon. If you hit, okay, you've dealt damage to that specific section of the tank. I could do it by I could literally just do it by sections. Like if you destroy like a full section of a tank, they're dead, like just because their tank has been disabled. But if you shoot them, get how do critical hits work then? Okay. Yeah, that's gonna just be me having to sit down, look at things, and beat my head up against a wall and hope for the best. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Well, thank you all for watching. I know this hasn't been exactly the pulse-pounding stream everyone expects from wonderful, jaw-dropping content of creating tabletop RPGs, but I hope you all enjoyed. I do try to stream every day. Sometimes I take a day off just to rest my voice, because my voice is all fuckered up. And next time, if we look at our handy-dandy preliminary documents, we've got our tank design done. Now we just need the combat section. Combat is going to be probably the tough part, but once combat's done, this is the easy bits. See this? All this is the easy part, because everything else, these last few sections, if we zoom all the way up, yeah, new casket, step 1, step 2, actually I should, what are you? You're 3. Did I make you 4 on accident? I made you 4 on accident. 3. Set 3. Improvements. Boom. All of these parts inform the combat section, which will inform these sections. That's the easy part. Once everything, all the numbers are down, that's done. We don't got to worry about that anymore. It's just getting there. That's the complex and not very fun part. But I feel pretty confident as of right now. Judging by how we're making our way through and how complex combat gets. So if let's say we get every section done in a day, roughly speaking, we can look about 4 or 5 days maybe. This is going to be kind of another hard one, just the idea of adding more and more stuff. I might have to add, combat's going to take, I think, 2 days minimum. just because we're having to deal with things like skirmishes, long battles, battlefields, and just the combat in general. As well as I'm going to have to explain grids and how I want to do that. So, yeah, that'll be fun. So, thank you all for watching. I am uploading everything to YouTube. Just look up Notepad on YouTube, and you'll find all my archive streams back from the second stream I've ever done. Because the first one didn't record. Why? I don't know. Twitch hates me, I guess. But outside of that, leave a follow if you feel like listening to me ramble incoherently for the time being. If you had fun, thank you very much, and, well, have a nice rest of your day. Bye-bye.